Hi everybody and welcome to today's video. I wanted to introduce you to a new feature in Tekla Structures 2023, the drawing property pane. Now for those who've used Tekla Structures for a few years, you're already familiar with when we changed over to the model side property pane, and really the idea was that we could minimize the number of dialog boxes that you were working with. And on the drawing side in 2023, we now have the same thing for the same reason. So instead of having multiple dialog boxes for things like dimensions and marks and text and other types of properties, everything's going to be relegated over here to a side pane. So for example, if I wanted to insert a dimension into one of these sections I've got here, I can double click on the dimension button. And there I'm going to see dimension properties. All of your regular dimensioning presets are going to load in here just fine. But you can see this is going to be a relative dimension. I can see what kind of marks I want to have. So let me just load the standard properties in here and pick 2 points and go ahead and make that dimension. Now, if I wanted to have some sort of note or annotation, you can see down here in the tags field where we've got the different positions around the dimension line where I could add some sort of tag. So if I wanted to click in here and type in something like typical. Let me turn my caps lock on. I can type typical, I hit enter, and now I can actually see, not just what I'm going to get, but where I'm going to get it. So it's just, a more kind of intuitive way to apply things like dimensions. Now, if I come in and I want to add some sort of mark, maybe I want to add like an associative note. So let me go ahead and grab the associative note properties. Over here, you can see a preview of the contents that we're going to include. So it's similar but different from what you may be used to. And if I come in here and I pick on an object and place that associative note, you can see I'm getting the assembly position and the profile. Now, what if I wanted to modify something about this? I wanted to add something like the material grade. Down here on this plus sign, I can click that to expand what it is I'd like to add. So you're going to have, again, your standard stuff that you're used to seeing. Assembly position, class, finish, length, material, right? So if I wanted to add material grade, I can just click that. And then you can, again, see sort of a preview of where it's about to appear. If you want to move it, it's just simply drag drop to reorient the content in this dialog up here. And then I can click modify. One quick thing that I'd like to note about this plus sign here. So all of your standard stuff is going to be there that you're used to. However, in order to make things easier for finding content like user-defined attributes and template attributes and custom properties, in older versions of Tekla, you'd have to know the UDA code, top underscore level. You'd have to go to the user assistance. You'd have to look that up. Well, now if you expand user attributes, you can see a list, a scrollable list of all of the available user-defined attributes that you'd like to possibly show in this mark. If I collapse that and I go to the template attributes, here are some other attributes that you may want to pull in from templates. If you come in here to the custom properties, like in the US environment, we have several custom properties loaded in. You can see a list of those available custom properties. So this makes building your marks so much easier than having to know or go find, custom dot has any cuts or something like that. You can just simply select it from this list. It makes it a lot easier to use. Another thing that I want to talk about with this this little preview up here at the top is right now you can see I've got properties being shown. So the properties are assembly position, profile, material grade. But what if I wanted to get a preview of the actual content? I can hit the values option here, and you can see that now I'm getting an actual preview of what's going to be shown in the mark. So if I wanted to add another value, maybe I wanted to add I don't know, what else can I add in here? Maybe the class or part position, right? I can click on part position, and now, of course, here the part position and the assembly position are the same thing, but now I'm getting, again, a preview of what I'm going to get, where I'm going to get it, before I go ahead and hit modify, okay? I'm going to take that out because having the part position and the assembly position when they're the same doesn't really make a lot of sense. Let's go ahead and remove that. Now, one thing that I really like that they've added as well is There are sometimes you're going to add content to a mark that doesn't make sense, or it's not applicable to the object, or perhaps you don't really have anything loaded at all. And if you may have noticed when doing drawing editing, if that happens, your mark will actually just disappear. Now, if that happened in older versions of Tekla and you changed it right away, you could bring it back. But if you didn't, it just sort of was lost, and you're not really sure why or what happened. So an example of that, right now I have no preloaded part mark properties, right? So I'm going to right click on this object here and I'm going to say add mark using view properties. And you see I've got this content not defined. That's the new result if you have content that either isn't defined or it doesn't make sense for the object you're applying it to, so that you're not getting a mark that just disappears and you don't know why it disappeared. You're going to get this content not defined, so now you can come in and actually edit the contents of this mark. I could go ahead again and say, all right, let's go ahead and add the assembly position. Let's add the length. I'll go ahead and drag that down. Let's get rid of content not defined, and maybe, again, I'll add material grade just for fun. Again, drag and drop, and then we'll go ahead and modify that, and we can see, the actual properties that we're trying to get at. And again, I could switch to the values option and see a preview of the actual values that are going to be showing up. So that is some pretty cool new behavior, in my opinion. And you're going to find that all types of drawing properties are going to be accessible here. So we talked about dimensions, we talked about part marks, also objects. So if I click on an object like this lower tube that I've got here has the center line currently visible, so I can go ahead and hide that and modify, and now that's going to disappear. I can affect the color from here. I can affect the hatching from here. So those are physical model parts. This section up here above, I've got a polygon sketched in to represent the slab because I didn't model it in this example model. So I can go ahead and enable that. And then again, I've got some hatching or fill options. So let me scroll down here and find some concrete, and there we go. Went by it probably 3 times. So we'll do 0.5 and 0.5. That'll probably be a good, maybe a little bit more. Let's try 0.2 and 0.2. There we go. So now I've hatched that polygon object. So again, it's just a single place to access all of the properties that you're going to want to see. So one thing that I do want to note is you're also going to see some view properties through here. And again, all you have to do is select that object type or that, that thing on the drawing. And here I'm going to get view properties where I have quick access to the scale, the view depths, and different types of options. One thing I want to note about this is that not all view properties are available through the side pane at this time. You're going to find a lot of the stuff that you want to manage on a quick access sort of kind of manner. But if you want to access the full properties, you can scroll down here to the bottom and you're going to get this view button. So if you click on the view button, this is going to open the view properties dialog box with all of the current options that are available. So think of the property pane for views as being more for quick access and quick edits, but if you want to have full access, just make sure you come down here to the bottom and click that view button. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up the video there. There are some other things that we can talk about with these property panes that maybe I'll talk about in another video, but I just wanted to get this out there with the release of 2023 coming up. So make sure you download this, check out this new functionality, and let us know what you think. We hope you appreciate this new development. Thanks for watching.